Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Tonight would have been night 2 of my official book launch, Kingdom Covenant, the most expensive engagement ring, the cross. Tonight would have been what I call date night. And I call it date night to have a discussion about dating and the dangers of dating, so to speak, the origins of dating, and why are you dating? I cannot find dating in the Bible. It's not biblical. It's not in the Bible. The Lord said to the men of Israel to take wives, not to take girlfriends. In Proverbs it says, he who finds a wife finds a good thing and get favor from the Lord, not find a girlfriend. Dating is you looking or me looking for better options, as opposed to allowing God to choose our husband, God to choose your wife. He knows the end from the beginning. He knows everything. He knows everything that's in us. He knows what's in our hearts. He knows the purpose he placed in us while we were yet formed in our mother's womb. So why we do not trust God to choose our life partner, which is the most important thing that we do in our life, is marriage, the kingdom way, God's way. We can go back to Genesis, where God created man in his image and after his likeness, both male and female. He created them, and then he blessed them. He gave them authority to be fruitful, to multiply, to fill the earth, to subdue it, to take dominion. And once God created both male and female, our parents, our father and mother, we call Adam and Eve. Adam means man, Eve means the mother of all living. Not to get too deep in that. I'm going to stay on dating. Dating is not biblical. It's not in the Bible. Even with Jesus, is the church dating Jesus? Are we dating Jesus? Are we looking for options? Are we going to look to see whether Satan has a better option than Jesus? Is that what we do? We can go a little bit deeper. God chooses us. God chooses the bride for his son, Jesus, who is our bridegroom as the church. So are we dating Jesus just on Sundays? What about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? Do we give our all? Have we yet surrendered? Have we yet submitted our wills to Jesus, who knows everything? He is the beginning and the end, the Alpha and Omega, the first and the last, the author and finisher of our faith. So I had to look up the origins of dating. So I'm going to read something. The term dating as we know it, referring to a trial period of romantic courtship, originated in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Specifically, the term date in this context is believed to have first appeared in 1896 in a Chicago newspaper column. The column described a man named Artie whose girlfriend was spending time with other men, and he used the phrase, filling all my dates. Prior to this, courtship was a more formal process, often involving chaperones and focused on establishing a family connection rather than individual romantic preferences. The rise of dating coincided with social changes. Early 20th century, dating emerged as a distinct social activity, separate from courtship rituals, driven by changing social norms and the increased visibility of women in public spaces. In 1896, the term date is first used in a way that suggests a calendar-based appointment for romantic interaction. Transition from courtship. Before dating, courtship was often family-driven and focused on securing alliances and economic stability. Dating allowed for a more individualized and private exploration of romantic connections. The cultural shift, the rise of dating, reflected a broader societal shift towards individualism and greater freedom for young adults, particularly women, to choose their own partners. Interesting. Interesting history. Interesting is, again, it's not biblical. God chooses our spouses. God chooses if you allow him to choose. Me, I prefer God to choose because he knows everything. He knows the end from the beginning. He knows the purpose he put in me. He knows the purpose he put in my husband. And if I decided to go out and start dating to see what my best option is, I tried that. It didn't work. There's a reason why. Because I can't see that man's heart. He can't see mine. We can both share each other's goals. We can both share each other's backgrounds, but that doesn't mean that I know what I'm choosing. That doesn't mean I can see clearly down the path, years down the path, that choice was the best choice for me. I surrendered to God many years ago, and I said to God, I'm going to allow you to choose. I want what's best for me that you have, who is best for me and what is best for me. And that's in every area of my life, where I'm going to live, the ministry he's called me to, the people who he has called me to speak to preach to prophesy to evangelize to. God chooses based on the gift or the gifts that he has yet put in me, that he has put in me while I was formed in my mother's womb, and those gifts that he has been maturing over the years. He knows who will listen, who will not listen. So God is the end, he's the beginning, he's the middle. So therefore I will trust the Lord to choose for me. Because of my purpose, what I was created to do, who I was created to be, I can't just marry just anybody. And I say the same thing for my brothers. You just can't just marry just anybody, especially if you're called into the ministry, especially if you're called to be an apostle, a prophet, evangelist, pastor, teacher, deacon, minister of the gospel. You just can't just marry anybody. And dating, again, is not in the Bible. So I'm going to end that one right there. And prayerfully, I can get a chance to finally launch this book. As I said last night on video, that my assignment has taken precedent, is more important than me launching this book God told me to write. So I have to have patience in everything, because we have free will. So everything is based on other people's decision, whether they're going to be obedient or not. It's always better to obey God than to have to sacrifice. So I'm being obedient, and everything essentially fell apart due to death, due to injury, due to schedule changes. So there's a reason why last night and tonight could not happen. As far as launching my book and teaching for a couple of days, everything has to line up. God knows everything. He knows what's going to happen. He knows what's going to happen to whom, where, how, when, what. So I have my trust in the Lord that, yes, this eventually will happen. And it's all about timing and free will and people aligning with God's plans, as opposed to us doing whatever we want to do and then get mad at God and expect something to still work out, even though it was not ordained by God to happen. So I'm trusting the Lord. I did reschedule for the end of July. Prayerfully, it will happen then. I've surrendered this to the Lord. I'm trusting Him. He is the best publicist. Amen. So prayerfully, it will happen soon. Have a blessed Friday night.